All right, guys, UFC 319 just wrapped from the United Center as my boy Miles gets everything done and wrapped up. Tonight's post-fight reaction video is brought to you by Total Wireless, the official wireless sponsor of UFC. They're in your corner with unlimited 5G data that will not slow you down. Tonight, a new champ was crowned in Khamzat Chimaev. He went out there and he dominated Dricus Du Plessis for 25 minutes, won the championship 50-44 across the board. I was very surprised at how easily he was able to take Du Plessis down and control him. To his credit, Dricus never gave up on himself. He continued to believe that he was going to eventually get Khamzat and win the fight. But as the rounds went on, you saw that even though Dricus has a championship's mindset, it wasn't going to matter. Chimaev was just too driven. He looked like he was in tremendous shape. If there was a knock that Chimaev had no cardio, that's been proven wrong. Now, as Rogan said, he didn't really use as much energy because he was controlling him the whole time. But all of that takes a ton of energy. Chimaev was able to secure, maybe like 11 of 13 takedowns. He had over, Sean Barnett, the head coach at Michigan, texted me and said that Chimaev had over 20 minutes of control time and he had 15 minutes in a crucifix. It was very impressive by Chimaev. If I'm being honest, though, it was a little disappointing on the side of Du Plessis because he knew the challenge. I don't know if they prepared the right way for what challenge was in front of them. You know when you're fighting Chimaev, you got to be able to get up if taken down, and you got to make the takedowns hard. He wasn't able to do either of those things tonight, and now he's the former champ. But ultimately, the night belongs to Chimaev, man. We saw this kid come in 2020, fight 3 times right away, fight 2 times on Fight Island. And immediately people started saying, this guy's going to be a champion. At 170, people thought he would be a champion. But then eventually he missed weight one time by 9 pounds. He went up to middleweight. Now he's a full-blown middleweight. I heard that in the offseason. Chimaev weighs 220 pounds. Full-blown middleweight. And it looks like because he's not cutting that extra 15 pounds, he can push hard for 25 minutes. Thank you. And that's a real problem for the middleweight division. We were talking about it after the fight. Rainier de Ritter loves grappling, so he can present some problems there. He has good striking, so he can present some problems there. Fluffy Hernandez has wrestling, cardio, and boxing. He can present some problems. Obviously, Mohayo and Imavov are tremendous strikers. They present problems there. But all these guys should be running to the wrestling room right now, getting with a coach that can prepare them for the wrestling exchanges. Because the controls that Chimaev uses, the wrist fighting, the hand fighting, the forward pressure, these are all things that you learn in the wrestling room as a kid, and then you apply them to fighting. I don't know if one training camp is going to be enough to help you close the gap, because Chimaev is so good in those areas. You got to make every single takedown hard, and you got to get back to your feet like Kamaru Usman did. But this dude is amazing, man. He showed time and time again that he's a special athlete. Now he's got the world championship belt to prove it. Massive for his country, massive for his team, and massive for everything, Team Khamzat Chimaev. So congrats to the champ, man. That was amazing. You did a fantastic job. In the co-main event, Lerone Murphy knocked out Aaron Pico. And it was impressive, man. Lerone Murphy is now 17-0, right? Lerone Murphy was undefeated in the UFC. He had not gotten beat, had beaten everybody put in front of him, and he still felt like he was getting overlooked. You can't overlook him after what he did tonight, because he had a game opponent, an opponent that fought hard, an opponent that had an undying belief that he was going to beat him, and he knocked him out. And he knocked him out cold. We talk about sports moments and memories. And a lot of times, when you're trying to earn something, you need that memory. Everybody remembers Michael Jordan hitting that shot in Game 6 against the Utah Jazz. We'll never forget it. Everybody knows that when an athlete is trying to win the Heisman or the MVP, you need a moment that stands out to earn you that thing. Tonight, Lerone Murphy had that moment that's going to earn him a championship opportunity. And to his credit, he went out in the biggest moment of his career and delivered better than he had ever delivered before in his career. And then the champ texts him, goes, "I'll see you in December, Lerone." So we don't know what's happening in December for the year-end card. But it sounds like Volkanovski wants to fight against Lerone Murphy. And I tell you one thing, if anybody deserves a title fight, like Magomed Ankalaev did before his last fight, and like Khamzat did before his last fight, it's Lerone Murphy. He deserves an opportunity to fight the champion for the belt. He earned that tonight with what was one of the greatest knockouts we've seen in a long time. He hurt Pico bad. He used Pico's aggressiveness against him. I'm a wrestler, so I've known Aaron Pico since he was a little boy. That was a bad knockout. His teeth were clenched together. They couldn't get the mouth guard out. That's very concerning for Aaron Pico. He's been knocked out now multiple times, and when he's gotten knocked out really bad. So, little concern on the Pico side. But hats off to Lerone Murphy for coming through in his biggest spot ever. I mean, Carlos Prates, after losing to Ian Gary, does what he did tonight. Sick. He was starting to beat up on Geoff Neal. Let's just call it what it is. At the end of that round, you could tell that there was a difference. Neal started wrestling him. Prates said to him, "Oh, you're wrestling me now. I thought you said this would be a round fight." Prates hits him with a couple nasty knees, some good right hands, and it hits him with the nastiest spinning elbow. There was a big old gash on the side of Geoff Neal. Blood was just pouring out of his head. It was crazy. The one thing that was very interesting was that Carlos Prates told me on Wednesday, "I'm done looking for the knockout. That's what cost me against Ian Gary. I am so aggressive trying to get the knockout, I can lose rounds. I'm going to take my time." And by taking his time, he got exactly what he was looking for anyway, the knockout. But he was much more measured, he was much more patient, and he looked amazing. Congrats to Carlos Prates. Michael Venom Page beat Jared Cannonier. MVP looked as good as we've ever seen him look, and he looked like the MVP we expected. He was much more aggressive today, hurt Cannonier multiple times, and just looked amazing. Prates said after the fight, "Hey, I want to fight in Brazil. Give me Leon Edwards." If I'm being honest, I can't see Leon Edwards taking that fight in Brazil. But MVP, at his post-fight presser, said, "Hey, you need an opponent. I'll go back to 170, and I'll fight Carlos Prates." If that's the case, I'm all in on that fight. Tim Elliott submitted Kai Asakura. Elliott's been away for a long time. To come back and have that as a performance, tremendous. Boy, Kai Asakura has got to be asking himself some questions now. He was a two-time champion in Rising. He's now 0-2 in his UFC career and has lost by 2 submissions. So he got some work to do. Baisangur Susurkaev. 4 days, 2 UFC fights, and now asking for another fight September 12th. I mean, this kid is ready to fight, and I love it. And the bosses love it. He has got a lot of fans at that table of executives right now. Susurkaev is on his way. Gives me a lot of those Khamzat Chimaev vibes that we saw when he started fighting frequently, fighting often, and dominating. So, hats off to Susurkaev. Nearfall Clothing, beautiful TKO against Gerald Mearshart. Loopy Godinez was the biggest win of her career over Jessica Andrade. Alexander Hernandez knocking out Chase Hooper. Dakar close with a big win over Edson Barbosa. Diani Barbosa losing to Karine Silva. It was a terrible decision, at least in my opinion. I thought she had done enough to win. And hats off to Joseph Morales, winning the Ultimate Fighter over Alibi Idris and doing it in impressive fashion. I've never seen Joseph look that good. I tried to pick him as pick number 1, but we decided to go in a different direction. That was a mistake because he proved that he is the best fighter on this season of The Ultimate Fighter. But hats off to him for becoming the Ultimate Fighter, and congrats to Alibi. He apologized to me when he left the octagon, and I told him we're all proud of you because we are proud of Alibi in all that he's accomplished, making it all the way to the final. and fighting with a lot of heart and a lot of spirit. It was a great night from Chicago. And I could not ask for a better job. Guys, now it's time for my Total Wireless Fighting Spirit Award that I give every night. It comes down to Lerone Murphy or Carlos Prates. My Fighting Spirit Award, presented by Total Wireless, goes to Lerone Murphy. This was the biggest spot of his career. For him to do what he did in that moment, it doesn't get any better. This kid was faced with a tough opponent in a tough spot with all the things on the line for him to get a title fight, and he delivered. So tonight's Total Wireless Fighting Spirit Award goes to Lerone Murphy. Hey guys, thank you for your support. Like I said, I love and appreciate you. My voice is shot. I got a couple weeks off. I'm excited about it. So until next time, like, subscribe, and tell your friends I got a YouTube channel. And I'm giving you backstage access to the UFC. This happens every event afterwards. People get to take pictures. It's amazing. Thank you. I appreciate you. Until next time, guys. Peace.
It was about time, right?
Coach, get over here. Hey, look at you too.
I swear.
I gotta be honest, man. I'm happy for you too.
This is my 5th title fight. I have Manon Fiorot as well.
Manon Fior, 3 with Alex, and 1 with Khamzat.
1 with Manon, but this was the 5th, and I said, fuck, you gotta get it.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach, was that everything you expected?
You know, most definitely.
It was dominant.
Yes, yes.
Were you guys surprised that it seemed like Dricus didn't prepare for the wrestling? It's like, no, seriously, Coach.
Okay.
Every round, Coach, you're laughing, but every round, Khamzat was able to take him down in less than 30 seconds. Were you guys surprised at how easily he was getting those takedowns?
You know, DC, I'm going to be honest with you, you know. People can think about prepare for wrestling, for ground, as much as they want, but Khamzat have a different type of approachment and pressure.
Yeah.
You only discover it when it's too late.
Yeah.
He's already there, and you can do nothing about it.
Yeah, I was a little shocked because 30 seconds, man, is a hard thing to do, especially when a guy's been, you know what the assignment is. You know you got to defend takedowns if you want a chance against Khamzat, but he wasn't able to do that tonight. And never gave up on himself. Du Plessis kept trying, but Khamzat's cardio looked amazing tonight too.
Exactly, you know, everybody was always talking about, oh, Khamzat only going to be able to win if he'll be able to finish in the first or even half of the second round.
Yeah.
Bro, we've been working so hard for this.
Yeah.
The preparation for 3 rounds is totally different than 5 rounds, especially when it's a title in the line, you know?
Yeah.
So now Khamzat just showed to everyone that he's able to fight 5 rounds.
That's a scary dominant entire middleweight division.
Excited. Now I'm actually curious to see what will be the next thing people gonna say.
Yeah.
Because he have been finishing people with the submissions, knockout, TKO. Now he won by decision 3 rounds. Now he won by dominant against the champion. Got the belt.
What was the scorecard? What was the scorecard?
It was 50-44 across the board. There was 1 10-8 round in there. But I mean, Khamzat, a crucifix is a hard thing to do. Khamzat was able to put him in 6 crucifixes.
Exactly. So, you know, his coach was saying that Du Plessis want to fight on the ground. He'll beat Khamzat on the ground. I was quiet.
Yeah.
I believe that now, whoever was preparing him on the ground, he's gonna get fired.
Well, Coach, you're crazy.
Hey man, to talk now.
Congratulations. You guys deserve it.
I was quiet the whole time. I didn't say a word.
Now it's your time to talk.
You know, I was just doing the job. Now I'm speaking facts.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody misses what happened, they still can go back to FC Fight Pass and check the fight.
Coach, congratulations, man. I'm so happy for you guys. You guys got a world title. Congrats.
Thank you. Finally.